Hey everyone, today we're going to be walking through performing a battery change on a G Shock GA-400GB, and this is the 5398 module. Let's get right into it. To perform this battery change, we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, ideally metal tweezers, but if you don't have metal tweezers, you can just use a metal paper clip, and our replacement batteries, which are going to be two SR927SWs. Before we begin, I wanted to quickly note you do not need to remove your straps to perform this battery change, but I'm going to take mine off real quick just so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. So getting started, the first thing we're going to want to do is flip our watch over and remove our 4 Phillips head case back screws, and we'll set them aside for later. Now with those screws out of the way, we can simply lift our case back right off. And don't worry, sometimes this rubber gasket will come out stuck to the case back, but we'll go through reinstalling that when we're reassembling the watch. Now that we're inside the watch, the first thing we need to do is pull out this white plastic layer. So as we can see, there's this little metal tab that's bent, sticking right over it. We can simply bend that out of the way, and you can just use your fingers. It's nothing that you need to be too concerned about. And then we're going to want to slide underneath this with our tweezers or that paper clip and try to lift up as straight as you can. As we can see, there's a lot of little prongs sticking out on the bottom, so that's why we want to try to lift out straight. Then we can simply set that aside for later. Now with that out of the way, the next thing is going to be to remove our old batteries. So I'm going to flip my watch all the way around here. So as we can see right here, there's a little metal latch that's sticking onto this plastic tab, and in the middle of that tab is a little slot. We're going to want to come in with our tweezers or that paper clip, go into that slot, pull out towards us, and that'll unlatch our battery housing. Then we can grab our old batteries out. There's going to be 2 of them. Pull them out and get rid of them. And now we're ready to come in with our new batteries, and again, these are SR927s. So we're simply going to grab our batteries, slide them right in place of the old ones. And then once those are in place, we can simply press that tab down and you'll feel it click right into place. Now our new batteries are installed. Now at this point, while we're already inside the watch, I'd always advise performing an AC reset. This is simply going to reset your watch to factory defaults, clear any errors if there are any, and make sure your watch is ready to operate as intended. So I'm going to rotate my module around here, and this is where we're going to want to have those metal tweezers, or if you're using a paper clip, you can simply bend it into an arch. We're just going to want to have 2 metal points of contact. So as we can see on our module, we have a little indication here that says AC, and that's indicating this gold tab at the bottom of this hole here. And then if we look on our module as well, we'll see a little circle with a negative icon next to it. Basically what we want to do is contact one end of our metal to that gold tab and the other end to this metal on our module. And we're just going to want to hold it for about 2 seconds. So I'm going to flip over again so it's easier to see. So one end on that gold tab, the other end on this metal. Just hold it for about 2 seconds. And now to ensure that we've performed the reset properly, I'd always advise holding a finger over this spring here. You just don't want to accidentally lose it because it's important for the sound of your watch. I'll flip my watch over and we should see it start flashing sub. So that means our module has been successfully reset and we can begin to reassemble our watch. Our first step in reassembly is going to be to reinstall that plastic layer that we removed. So this one's pretty easy because there's only one way it could possibly go in. We want to look on our plastic piece here for this metal tab that's sticking down, and then we want to find the side of our watch that has that crown that rotates. We're simply going to drop it right in place, and that metal tab will kind of just hug around the crown there, and it'll slide right in place. We can see our spring is sticking up through this hole here, and this metal tab is also sticking up through this notch. So that's all there is to that. I almost forgot to mention too, we also just want to bend that little metal tab right over just to hold that in place. And now, just in case yours came out during this process, we're going to reinstall the gasket. This one's nice and easy because it's just a circle, so there's no right or wrong way it can go in. As we can see on our watch, there's just that circular groove. We just simply want to drop the gasket right in place, and then I like to use my tweezers to make some fine adjustments if needed. We just want to make sure the gasket is perfectly seated in that groove, that way it maintains a watertight seal. Now we're ready to reinstall our case back, so the easiest way to remember the orientation of it is that metal tab that we had to bend over indicates the lower portion of the watch, so we just want to make sure our G Shock and Casio logos are properly oriented. So we'll simply drop it right in place, and you may have to fiddle it around a little bit, but you'll feel it kind of fall in between these plastic grooves here, and now we just need to reinstall our 4 case back screws. What I typically like to do is just hold my thumb on that case back so it doesn't move around, drop my 4 screws in, just get them started, and now all that's left to do is snug them up. And remember, these don't need to be super tight, just nice and snug. So I'm going to tighten these up, reinstall my straps, and then I'll meet you guys at the final steps. Our final step for this battery change is going to be to recalibrate our analog hands. The reason we have to do this is because when we perform the AC reset or put a fresh battery in, the watch basically thinks wherever the hands were left off is 12 o'clock, so when you set the time it'll display the wrong time. So to enter this mode, we're going to want to press and hold adjust and keep holding it after the first beep. Keep holding it. Once we hear the second beep, we'll see sub start flashing again. So now we're controlling this small timer sub dial, so we can go forward and back with our crown, and if you need to go a long way, you just twist it a bunch and it'll eventually start going on its own. This watch is a little finicky for setting the hands, to be honest, but we want that to be pointing straight up at 60 to be zeroed. That's about good. So now we're going to press mode, and now we'll see 000 start flashing. Now this is our hour and minute hand, so we want this to be pointing at 12 o'clock to be zeroed. So again, we can go forward and back with the crown, and if you twist it a few times, it'll go automatically. And once those are both pointing directly up, we can press adjust, and now when we set our time, our hands will also display the correct time. And that's all there is to it. As we can see, our mode cycle, our beep is audible, our backlight is working, though it may be a little challenging to see. So our watch is completely ready to set and wear again. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this battery changing tutorial. I really hope everything was clear and helpful. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them down below in the comments. And if you're interested in more tutorials and watch related content, please do check out my channel and consider subscribing. Thanks everyone, take care.